Hello, everyone. I am Will. Welcome back to my playthrough of Dark Souls Remastered. Yep. Last we left off, we tackled the Duke's archives. Yep. Started out right in front on the entranceway, right where the golden fog wall was at. Yep. But it's gone because we placed a Lord vessel, so we could proceed forward. So we went down the hallway, dealt with the two fully armored boars that were guarding the entrance. They don't respawn. One of them was kind enough to drop another Fanged Boar Helm. So we have two of them, though I'll probably feed one to Framped. So, yeah. But, yeah, so they don't respawn, so we don't have to worry about them again. So we went through them, found the bonfire at the entrance, elevator up, into the archives, or the archives itself. Yep. And that immediate room, we got started getting sworn by the crystal hollows that plague the archives. And then there was a unique, well, not really unique, but there was a blue crystal golem in that little room as well. Yeah, he was added with the DLC. He's the one that drops the broken pendant. Yeah, he killed the Hydra, killed the crystal golem holding Dusk, talked to Dusk, summoned Dusk, talked to her again, and then that golem will drop the broken pendant. So now we have access to the DLC if we want to, just not yet. And after that, we went through the archives, through a channeler, some more crystal hollows, picked up some soul items, some chests, a mimic, I think. And then we went up an elevator. Yep. The same elevator you could use to skip most of the archives, but I ended up not doing that. I've never done it before, nor do I ever care to, but it's an option if you want to. Yeah, once you get up to the top, you activate the elevator again, and you kind of, I want to say, roll or walk off till you land on the edge of the elevator railing, and just kind of roll off once you hit one of the floors. Yeah, and that way you can actually bypass the initial encounter with Seath and most of the archives, particularly the prison section. But I didn't do that. So elevator up, encounter the Crystal General Knight, whatever you want to call him. Yeah, he's like a hostile NPC that guards Seath the Sacleless. So dealt with him, a crystal lizard along the way, and then we encountered Seath the Sacleless. Yep. At that point, he's immortal. Mm-hmm. And if you haven't done the skip, you have to die to that fight. Yeah, you have to die. So, slapped on the rare ring of sacrifice just in case we get cursed, because his breath attacks do cause curse. So, that was just in case. So we died to him. Woke up in the prison. Did a jailbreak. Had to deal with the Picosimises, or I think the item descriptions call them the mistakes. Turned off my sound effects so I don't have to deal with that little wailing call, whatever, the wailing sound. Cleared up the Picosimises, through some of the prison cells, dealt with the last of these Serpent Men guards, turned the sound off, turned our sound effects back on, grabbed the key to exit, talked to Big Hat Logan, killed some unique mistakes that dropped Miracles of Guinevere, and then we made our way out. Just grabbing some soul items along the way, the Maiden set, as well as the White Seance Ring, and we exited. Through some more crystal hollows, then we had to deal with the rotating stairs and some more channelers. Yep. So, yeah, that was the fun part. Yeah, a whole bunch of, particularly you get shot in the back with crystal arrow, like the archers that shoot. Yeah, the archers have really long range and they do a really ton of damage, especially if they get buffed by a channeler, and then they'll probably like kill us in 2 hits. So do not underestimate those archers. But once we got out into the archives, the first step was go down some stairs to the bonfire of the area, and just kind of cleared it out. Crystal hollows, channelers, chests containing strong magic shield, which I won't be using because it doesn't last long enough to warrant use. So it's like, oh well. Yeah. I mean, it's powerful, but it doesn't last very long. It's like 10, 15 seconds, give or take. But it makes your shield into a great shield no matter what you put it on. So it's like, wow. But yeah, some more chests with some twinkling titanites, mimics. And we found the shortcut. Well, we opened up the shortcut, which moved the bookcase so we could access the bonfire. And 2 rooms with a bunch of chests. One chest had, I think, a blue titanite chunk. One had the crystal ember, which I haven't gotten to the blacksmith yet. One of them was a mimic that dropped the enchanted falchion. Just the falchion along the enchanted path. It's also kind enough to give us another symbol of avarice. Yep. And one in another chest had the key to Logan's cell. So we backtracked to Logan, opened the cell, freed him up, grabbed the Firekeeper soul, and then I'm trying to remember what we did. I think we went back to Logan. I think we had enough spells to buy his Crystal Soul Spear. And then the last thing we did is we did the harder drop down to the Avalon. Yeah, the one that was the harder part. I mean, you can take advantage of the fact that if you're on a movable plane like the stairs, if you exit out of the game, if you quit out of the game and reload, it'll put you back on the last solid ground you were standing on. So you could, in theory, be on the little, hallway above the Avalon bookcase, turn the stairs, quit, reload, and you'll be right above it. So all I had to do was really just kind of like walk off, and you'll fall right on the bookcase. So that's probably the easier method, but I did the hard way. Who cares? And I'm trying to think what else we did. Opened up the stairs down to the Crystal Forest. Haven't gone through the fog wall yet. And I think that was it. Yeah, I think that was it. Yep. Well, so the Duke's Archives. Yep. Between episodes, I did some more chunk farming. Yep. I did mainly because I wanted 4 more levels into intelligence so I can use Crystal Soul Spear, so I did do that. So, and as well as have enough souls to buy all the stuff I want, or need to anyway at this point. So yeah, that's all I did. So we have a bunch of chunks just sitting in our inventory. Yeah, 60. Yeah, a whole bunch more dragon scales too. Yeah, like 30, almost 40. Wow. But yeah, that's all I did. Just farm more chunks, some levels. Yep, that was it. And today we're going to hopefully finish off the Duke's Archives, go into the Crystal Forest, down to the Crystal Caves, and take on Seath the Sacleless. Yep. And we'll also have some NPC quests to tidy up. Yeah. At this point, some of them are going to end, some of them are going to kind of continue on. So I think most of them are going to end at this point. At least 2 of them. Well, 3 technically, but his ending's not that bad. Yep. Yeah, that's the plan. Let's deal with some of the NPC stuff, and then the Crystal Forest and the Crystal Cave, and then Seath the Sacleless. Yep. And equipment for today is pretty much the same as last time. Yep. Gargoyle Halberd plus 15, Pyromancy Flame, Sanctus, our Dragon Slayer set. You know, I was trying to think of what armor set I wanted to use, but since we're going to take on a dragon, might as well stick with, Dragon Slayer stuff. And Havel's range just so we can at least medium roll. Bellowing Dragon Crest to boost up our fire damage. Yep. So here are the stats. Again, 4 more points into intelligence, so I have enough to at least use Crystal Soul Spear. Won't be using it this episode because, the Crystal Golems are strong against magic. And Seath himself is strong against magic, so not going to use it. But spell's the same, 2 copies of Combustion, Fireball, Chaos Fireball. All right. Shall we get the show on the road? Yep. All right, let's do this. First up is Ingward. I completely forgot about him. You probably did too. But if you want to beat the Four Kings, you come back here and talk to him, and he'll move. Yeah. So Ingrid, your job's done.
Magnificent. You defeated the Four Kings. Impressive, even for a bearer of the Lord Vessel. And with this, my purpose is exhausted. I have not seen the sun for a long time. Perhaps I could do with a change.
Well, in that case, I recommend sunscreen. Yes.
Alright,
so now at this point, since we talked to him again, he'll actually appear back at Firelink Shrine, of all places. So just trying to think what's the quickest way back would be just a warp, I guess. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Homeward bone back to the last bonfire, which is going to be in the cave in the basin. Yeah, this is the bonfire I used to farm up the dark wraiths and the drakes. Just want to make sure those ghosts do some damage if you're not careful. Alright, so let's go back to Firelink Shrine. Alright, back at Firelink. So, let us... first thing I want to do... Is Grigg still here? Yeah, I think he is. Hey Griggs, I found Logan. Wanna know where he is?
Oh, hello. You made it. Then let us begin, as promised.
Yeah, but we already bought all the stuff, so...
Oh, Master Logan is at the archives. Thank the heavens. Finally, his wish has been granted. I suppose he has his head buried in those tomes. That's always what made Master Logan happiest. Ah, I can just imagine him now.
Well, his nose is buried in the books.
Two things are first, then... Oh.
Alright, so...
Goodbye, then. Do stay safe.
Alright, so... We found Logan. We told him where he is. So now I think at this point he'll actually move. I hope. I think. If he doesn't, I might have to force him. Alright, so I think he'll move once we actually get to where he's supposed to be. Let's see. I have stuff to feed you, Framp. Wake up.
No, I'm fine. Well,
Alright, so I'll probably just cut this part out because I meant to do this between episodes, but I kind of forgot. So I'm just going to feed him some stuff, so I'll be right back. Alright, so I fed him all the stuff. Mostly extra weapons I picked up along the way. Alright, patches. I need to...
Oh, you again. You've come at... Some new gems have come my way. I saved them specially. Just for you, my darling.
You guys do stuff? I don't think so, but... Yeah, you have nothing new, so... Mainly here because I want some more prism stones. We're gonna need some bunch more. I think the most we can carry is 99. Yeah. So 99 prism stones.
I'm done with the looting and...
Alright.
What? Nothing?
Alright, so... Thank you. Alright. So Ingrid's up here. In fact, he's actually over here. Here he is. He's now in Firelink Shrine, offering his services. Did you put on the sunscreen like I asked you to?
Oh, hello. The sunlight made me wince. And now I've come back to this dark hole. So what brings you here? I will help you in any way I can.
Alright. So you can break the curse, you can buy whatever his stuff, but we don't need any of it. Alright. So there you go. Ingrid in Firelink Shrine. Not a lot of people see that. Alright, so So the next thing we want to do is we're gonna go up to Rhea and buy out her stuff. Yeah, I don't like doing this, but it's gonna have to be done. Gotta buy the rest of her miracles, which would cause her to move on to her next spot. Which is a place we've seen. Yeah. I think I even mentioned it last episode, but... Alright, Rhea. I hate to do this to you, but it needs to happen.
I was wondering when you might return. It is a great relief to see you. Now let us speak of miracles.
It's by your one divine blessing, all your miracles. Alright. I don't have a talisman? Really? Oh, whatever. Alright. And that should do it.
Vince and Nico were fooled by a mob. It is bad and the bug.
Alright.
Then be safe. Farewell, Rhea Nox.
Barrier Nox. Alright. I think if we quit and reload, she should be gone. Yep, now she's gone. Yep. Alright, next step is... I'm trying to think real quick. Sen's Fortress. We actually need to go into Sen's Fortress. Because Grigg is supposed to move on, and he's supposed to be in Sen's Fortress at this point. Yep. So I'm either going to speed it up or just cut to Sen's Fortress, so... I'll be right back. Alright, so what I want to do is just kind of roll here. There he is. Okay. Yep. Griggs officially moves on. Sorry, Griggs. Yep. Yep. Once you buy up all of his miracles, or I mean, not all of his miracles, all of his sorceries. Yeah. This is what happens. Especially when you tell him where Logan is. He'll then try to follow him up, but he succumbs to the perils of Sen's Fortress. Just like Laurentius and Quaylana and Griggs drops a humanity, as well as Hush and another slumbering Dragon Crest ring. So we haven't found the crest ring here in the Sen's Fortress. He'll drop it here. So, alright. It is very loud. So let's get out of here. Oh, I forgot. Let's go back to Firelink. I have another Firekeeper soul, so I gotta put that, give that to Anastasia. Anastasia? Now flask +5. Anything else?
Forgive me. I am impure. Please, leave. I wish.
Okay. Alright. And I think... Oh, we have to... One last thing. Yep. We have to do Rhea. Yeah. Rhea should now be in the archives, so... We need to warp to her, or at least to the Duke's archives, and then I'll cut back to the the prison. So, because she's in the prison. All right. So, to the prison. So I'll either speed it up or just cut right to it. No. I'm trying to remember which one she's in. We'll check out that cell first. Yeah, she's in one of these cells. She gets kidnapped by a six-eyed channeler, yep. Because if you remember way back at the beginning, there was a six-eyed channeler back at the undead church there where she was at. So we can assume that that six-eyed channeler, even though we killed him, another one showed up and kidnapped her. But again, this only happens if you buy all of her miracles. And Petrus doesn't kill her. Are you in here? Alright, she's not in this one, okay. Maybe back here, nope. Alright. Ow. Alright. Thank you. I don't think you're dead, but well, you are. Alright. Okay. Alright. Yes, it would have been more efficient to have Rhea move on before we did the archives here, but yeah, here she is. Rhea of Thurland. Yeah, she has no weapon, so she'll just try to punch you. And the only thing she does is, with her catalyst, is she heals. She doesn't have any offensive miracles, surprisingly. Considering she had, you know, Wrath of God memorized and all that stuff, so I'm surprised she doesn't use it. But as far as I know, she doesn't use... The only miracle she uses is heal. Yeah. So she'll just end up trying to punch you to death. Rhea. 7 humanity and ivory talisman. Thank you, Rhea. Yeah. It is over here. Ivory talisman's probably the best talisman in the game. Well, the best talisman in the game is the Dark Moon talisman. But if you're not in the Covenant of the Dark Moon, then the Ivory talisman's the best. Medium for cast miracles of the gods. Ivory talismans are granted only to female clerics, and their value is affected dramatically by their owner's faith. Yep. So if you have really high faith, I think it's like over 40 or so, it's the best, with the exception of the Dark Moon Catalyst. But again, Dark Moon requires you to be in the Covenant. This one does not, so... And she gave us 7 humanities. 7. So, kind of worth it, if you're mean, but... Yeah. Alright, so the last thing we gotta do before we go on to the Crystal Forests is to talk to Big Cat Logan. Buy the last of his spells. Yep. So, I will, again, cut to him. Either speed it up or just go right to him. Alright, Logan, in your dark room. This room was not this dark in the original. But anyway. Alright, Logan, we got spells.
Oh, hello there. Where have you been? Time is a resource. Let's delve in promptly.
Alright, let's grab his magic weapon and Homing Soul Mass. Right, I think at this point he goes crazy. Yeah, because once you buy all of his spells, now fulfills his next step of his quest. So
The tomes stored in these archives are truly magnificent. A great pool of knowledge. Some would say Seath had all... Come again. The knowledge here is limitless. I will absorb it, then share it with you.
All right. I think at this point, if we talk to him again, he's all gonna be all crazy.
Hello there. Oh, I understand. We are in the midst of a revolution. The tomes store a great...
Do I have to,
Farewell.
hold on. Do I have to quit reload for him to go crazy? All right, Big Hat, are you nuts now?
Oh, hello. Time is a resort. The tomes store and I...
All right.
Farewell.
Never mind, never mind. I thought at this point he would go crazy, but I guess not. All right, let me go rest at the bonfire, get our stuff back, and then we'll officially begin this episode. Hopefully it doesn't take too long, but I will not be surprised if it does. All right. Yeah, I need almost 100,000 to level up at this point. All right, let's get to the forest. Time to make progress. With all the NPC stuff out of the way, let's go down. Take care of you. All right. Down ladder, and we're just gonna circle around the forest here. Yep. Oh, we already aggroed someone, huh? Yeah, this place is full of these blue golems. Not bad. Okay. Yep, 1,200 souls a pop. So there's quite a number of them in here too. They can drop blue chunks, so... Alright. Again, I think the best way to beat them up is with a strike weapon, like a club of some sort. I think they take extra, or have less defense against strike, so... Here should be a blue chunk. Blue chunk. Okay. And we have 3 golems. Just try to aggro one at a time if you can. Let's use a throwing knife. There we go. Come on. I'm going to separate you from the rest of your pack. Cool. I'm pretty sure combustion probably do a better job, but let's find out. Slowly. There we go. Come on. Not by much. Yes. Okay. Nah, we'll stick with the halberd for these little guys. Circling around the perimeters, checking for any items. It should only be like blue chunks. The crystal general knight guy should be out here. And we have another crystal. gold crystal golem. Since he's stuck, we should probably get a decent view. Yep, that's another gold golem holding another maiden. Yep, you just barely see her in the crystal on top. I have no problem cheesing him. Go. Defeating him, it frees Siegmeyer? No, it's not Siegmeyer. It's his daughter. You can tell it's not Siegmeyer because she has the bastard store instead of a Zweihander. But this is, I don't remember her name, but it's Siegmeyer's daughter, and she came to Lordran to find her father. What's up, my girl?
It was you who rescued me. Why, thank you. I am Siegland of Katarina. I don't know how I ended up in that crystal. It wasn't terrible in there, but I could hardly move. I must think of some way to repay you.
How about being a summon sign?
Oh, have you seen my father? You wouldn't miss him. A suit of armor just like mine.
Well, yes, we have. He's down below.
Thank goodness. I knew he was here somewhere. Well then, now I must find him. Thanks again, truly. Now I shall just stay put and keep out of trouble.
Well, he's an adventurous spirit, that's for sure. But good luck.
Thank goodness. Well, now...
Okay. Yep. A new NPC. Yep, going after her father, Siegmeyer. Siegland. Alright, I think we'll see her again in the Firelink Shrine, I believe. But we have more of the forest here to clear out. Alright. Over here. I think this is the body. Yep, the crystalline armor set. Yep. I think this body only spawns if you kill that NPC on the way to Seath the Sacleless. Yeah. Helm, armor, gauntlets, and leggings. I don't think there's anything special or any There we go. Yeah, very good physical defense, very bad elemental. Yeah. Good for certain bosses, bad for others. So, yeah, crystallized helm worn by a hollowed knight who was partially crystallized. The power of the crystal grants high defense. So hollowed knight. Yep. It's okay. You can repair that armor. That's the only crystal item you can actually repair. So, alright. Well, let's skip across. And I don't know if you can. I don't think you can upgrade that armor. I think you can just. I think it comes as is. Alright, what you doing? Oh, okay. Alright. I guess he saw us when we fought that guy. Okay. Oh no, it was a different one. Never mind. It was a different golem. I was thinking it's that one in the corner, but no, it's an entirely different one. Almost down. I just got one last golem to clear out, just for principle's sake. Come on. Bam. Alright. think he'd be guarding an item or something, but nope. Alright, I think that's the last golem in the forest here. So now we go down. Yep. Yeah, I don't think there's any other items as well. Yeah. Pretty bare bones out here. Right. Even the trees are crystallized. Yeah. And if you squint hard enough, it looks like a dragon. You can see it's kind of like roaring to the sky kind of thing. Alright. But let's go down into the crystal caves. Just be very careful with the geometry down here. It's kind of funky in places. Alright. Oh, I forgot. It's a pretty bad knockback. Yeah, just be very careful. Narrow passes, narrow walkways, crystal golems that can knock you clean off the pathway if you're not careful. Collision geometry for some of these pathways is not the best. So I'll just try to stick to the center of each pathway as you can. You can see the lesser moonlight butterflies. They should mostly be non-hostile as long as you don't get too close to them. There's one in particular that has like an item in front of it that will aggro if you get too close. I think it's that one right there. I think. But yep, we got some gold golems. I'm pretty sure they don't respawn. Should be like a second one down there somewhere. But, yep. So the main enemy that we have to deal with right now is the golden golems. And the gimmick for the area. Invisible pathways. Yep. Humanity? Just kind of slide down. Does this have an item by it? No. Okay, cool. These moonlight butterflies, these crystal butterflies, or whatever you want to call them, they can drop chunks as well as, blue chunks as well as blue slabs. So if you want another blue tiny slabs, these are the enemies you want to fight. They are, unlike the moonlight butterfly fight, these guys do not come back down. Once they go in the air, they stay up in the air. So unless you have a pretty good range attack to deal with them, I wouldn't recommend messing with them unless you need that slab. Yeah, because they have a pretty good chunky amount of health. You have to deal with ranged magic attacks, and it's not fun. It's not fun. I did it once, and I did not like it. But again, as long as you leave them alone, they'll leave you alone. So live and let live, I'd say. Yep, a developer message. Path ahead. Yep. Yep. And they have graciously have snowfall, crystal fall on some of these pathways. Yeah, these first few are pretty wide, so they're hard to miss. I just kind of run along, and you should be okay. This golem and this pathway is a real pain in the ass. Let's run back up. Oh, crap. Yeah. Yep. that's probably going to happen a few times. So, alright. I'm going to run my way back down there. So, I'll see you when I get back. Alright, I'm back. Yeah, just ran past every enemy, quick reload just to reset the aggro so I don't have them all follow me into this cave. Alright. So let's at least do this right, okay? Maybe we can get him to his jump attack off the ledge here, but I don't think so. Yeah, I just drag him up here. There's a bit more room to fight him up here, so just do it up here. He's also much stronger than his brethren, his blue brethren. So, oh, leash range. We're gonna get smacked. Yeah. Alright. What? Alright. Thank you. Why do you have to be so difficult? So. They don't respawn. At least I don't think they do. I hope they don't, because that'd be a problem if they do. But this one's a straight shot. Again, you can just continue forward to the next spot. But we are actually going to go this way. But we're going to hang a left. This little crystal walkway has the geometry problem. Yeah, it's actually going to push you to the right if you're not careful. I like sticking to the left here. You should be good. Yeah, there it is. It's pushing you to the right, so. Alright. We have a drop down. And below us should be 3 crystal lizards. I think it's 3 crystal lizards. So drop down, immediately turn around, and you got 3 crystal lizards. So we're just gonna do that. Ooh, nice. 2 twinkling titanite, well, 4 twinkling titanites and 4 blue chunks. That's what I like. So there was a third one. It did get escaped, so we're just gonna quit reload. All right. I don't bother trying to, you know, save, exit, save scum these ones because it's not really worth it. I got all the slabs I want. They might drop blue slabs, but there we go. And green titanite, yeah. All right. Are we? Is it above us or is it we? Hold on. I just want to make sure. This is why we got the prism stones. Alright, so there is a path here. Briefly, I think. Okay. Yeah, because so this is going to be a nerve-wracking part. I don't think we're in the right spot. I think we're supposed to do it up there. Or can we just continue on? Alright, so this is going to be nerve-wracking. I'll probably speed this up. So I'm going to try to do this on my own. But I'm going to just be doing this. Right here. Alright, there you go. That was the most nerve-wracking part. All for a blue titanite slab. You can actually see the little, the path. There you go. Alright. I don't think there's anything else over here. I think it's just the slab. Yeah. Everything else is death. Alright. So let's follow our prism stones back, or we'll fall to our deaths, either one. So, just kind of stick to it. Alright. And straight shot. Cool. There we go. Oh. Yeah. Another way you can do that is with arrows. Arrows will actually stick to the path. I'm just want to demonstrate. That'll work. There. Yeah, arrows will also stick to the path, but I don't know how long they last. So I think they fade before prism stones do, so just be careful when you use that method. Yeah, you see the arrows disappearing. So you can use the arrows to find the path, and then use the prism stones to mark it. All right. So you don't need that anymore, because the rest of the pathways are going to be kind of a straight shot. All right. All right. So slowly creep out here. Another developer message. Imminent fall. Right. Yeah, there's another gold golem below us, so another treacherous pathway, so yeah, this one's gonna suck. Should we start combustion for him? Alright. Drop down, immediately roll, and hope we don't die. Go. That's an AoE. There you go. Go. Slow and steady. That one's a good knockback, so just be very careful. Alright. Thank you. This is just soul item. Oh, another blue chunk. Okay. Yep. And here's the path that'll lead us back up. Yep, I think we need to go back up. I'm trying to remember. I don't think we go back up. Hold on. There's another hidden path that's a straight shot back. That further down. Is it over here? Oops. It's above. Okay. Let's take this back up. It is a straight shot, so you're okay. Just aim for the falling snow up here. Alright. Back onto the treacherous geometry. Stick to the left. It should be okay. There we go. Or is it down there? I'm a little confused. Well, here's a good view of our little handiwork. All right. Excuse me. Alright, so this just drops us down. This drops us down again. Oh no, okay, this is the path. Okay, we just keep going forward. Alright. Again, this is a straight shot, so just you know, aim for the end and just go straight. Okay, nice. Here we go. Before going that way, let's go grab this item. This one you gotta be careful. I think this guy will aggro if you get too close, so just take it slow, stay far away from him. Soul of a hero. Yeah, of all the crystal butterflies, I think he's the one that's most likely to aggro on you. If you just run for that item, he'll fly up and start attacking. Alright. Now the perilous part is done. Now comes the clams. Yep. And you can see off in the distance is the primordial crystal that Big Hat Logan referenced last episode. The secret to Seath's immortality. Yep, right in there. Alright. There are, I think, 8 of them in here. There's 8 clams. Definitely recommend killing them first time through, because there's no boss fog in that doorway. So if you haven't initiated the fight and you just run through the clams, more often than not they'll join you for the fight, and that's not good. I'm pretty sure Seath can kill them, but yeah, it's a headache dealing with them like that. There's one over here. Yep. Alright. Hopefully we can stun lock them, but there we go. Perfect. High chance of drops being Purging Stones and Twinkling Titanite. Perfect. Yep, Twinkling Titanite and Purging Stones. Yep. This is the source of Twinkling Titanite if you don't want to buy it from the blacksmith. These clams right here are what you want. Alright. Come on, clam. There you go. I was kind of worried if we didn't have enough poise damage to break their poise. They don't have a lot. They have like, the internal files say they have 30. So if you can get a weapon that does 30 poise, does 30 poise damage, then you're good. You just stun lock them. Yeah, Twinkling Titanite. We're not even using the silver serpent or the gold serpent ring either. So just imagine if we were using the gold serpent ring, like almost all of these would have a Twinkling Titanite in them. All right, clam. Just wait for him to recover before we strike again, otherwise they'll hyper armor through it. And they dropped both. Yep. There we go. Alright, so there's only what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? 6 clams? Okay, there was less than I thought. But alright. Time for Yuldi Dragon. Alright. So this is the actual boss fight with Seath the Sacleless. Yeah, so once we get close enough to the crystal, he's going to come flying in. Yep. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to hug by the crystal, because because when you break the crystal, Seath will get stunned for a few seconds. Actually, we might want to... I'm trying to think if we want to drop some equipment to fast roll, but I don't know. Being fast will allow us to get to his tail quickly enough in order to cut it. But that's going to be... We need to drop like 10 units. Trying to do quick math in my head. We need to drop like 9 units. Like 9.5. I don't know. We'll try with the medium armor. We'll try it. Alright. So yeah, first order of business, after Seath spawns in, hang up by the crystal. Hopefully use his own attacks to break it. So that way we can get to his back of his tail. His tentacle tail, whatever you want to call it. The one in the middle on his backside. Yep. Because that will cut his tail, getting us a dragon weapon, because he is a dragon. So, cut his tail off. Yep. Alright. And after we get his tail, then the rest is just kind of straightforward. Smack him till he's dead. But until the crystal is broken, Seath is basically immortal, so... Alright. Let's do this. Run away. Let him come close. Come on. Over here. We should be good to go. There we go. He broke the crystal. This tail all the way on the tip. There we go. And we get the Moonlight Greatsword. Oh, we need to heal. Yeah, being on his backside's probably the worst because of his little flailing tentacles. For that reason. Oh well. Oh well, we got what we wanted. So now that we broke his crystal, we got his tail cut, so now we just gotta go back and beat him up. Alright, so... Yeah, don't be on his backside. Once you get the tail cut, run to his front. He's much easier on when you're in front of him. So I'm going to run back, and I'll see you on the bottom. Alright, I'm back. Whew. And people complain Wuchang has long run backs. Yeah, this is nothing. That game was nothing compared to this. But now that the boss fog is here, we can actually ignore the clams, so they won't join him. Do the fog. Let's do this again. This time we don't have to worry about getting the tail cut, so we can just, focus on him. Oh, the crystal respawn? Really? Really? This never happens. It never respawns. Like, once you break it, it's gone. Really? Okay, whatever. Come on, you big goober. Come break your crystal, please. Alright, we'll do that. That's explosion. Oop. I think it's a big chunk of the arena too. Alright, so just kind of stay close. Alright. Ow. Yeah. Bequeath Lord Soul Shard of humanity. And what, 60,000 souls. Alright. Seath the Sacleless. I don't know why it's that one, but oh well. Alright. I was almost certain the crystal would not respawn. I'm surprised it did. I was almost certain that once you broke it, it was gone forever. But no, I guess it's... Huh, interesting. The more we know, the more we know. Bonfire. We will arrest. Our hollowing. Yeah, this is the bonfire to farm those clams. So this me and this bonfire are gonna get real acquainted here between episodes. Cause I want me some twinkling titanite. Yeah. See the Sacleless. Far more manageable when you're in the front of him. Yeah, once you get behind him, he starts flailing around with his little tail tentacle things, and it can get really hectic. So I made the mistake of staying behind him once I got the tail cut. So yeah, so that's my bad. Yeah, but since we did manage to get his tail cut, and for our troubles, we were rewarded with the Moonlight Greatsword. Yep. Pure magic damage, A in scaling. With our 44 intelligence, we're already getting a 154 scaling bonus off the bat. So, yeah. This sword, one of the rare dragon weapons, came from the tale of Seath the Sacleless, the pale white drake who betrayed his own. Seath is the grandfather of sorcery, and this sword is imbued with his magic, which shall be unleashed as a wave of moonlight. Yep, the strong attack, like all the other dragon weapons, has a special move to it that consumes durability with each use, but yeah, it's also really cool. Kind of like a little glass-looking. There's like a sword core to it and like a little transparent glass type material on the outside. Yeah, but again, the strong attack unleashes magic. Yep. But again, it costs durability, so just be very, very careful with it, with how often you use it. It only's got 300 durability, so make sure you have a ton of repair powders if you're going to use it. Or the repair weapon sorcery. Alright. Alright, so with that done, we are going to warp. Yeah, Seath is, again, very, very strong against magic, very susceptible to lightning and fire, but, I mean, just stay in front of him, wail on his little tentacle abdomen parts, and it should be okay. The only real move you really have to watch out for is his AoE blast. I think he has a grab attack. I think he tried to do it to us, where he swung around with his right hand. So, all right. Let's go to the archives. Actually, before I go on, let me reinforce it, because I am going to do this. I have all the scales I need, the souls I need. Alright. Fully upgraded. We are doing a ton of damage. Almost 200 base with almost 300 more, yeah. 475 pure magic. pure magic. So, alright. So let's go talk to Big Cat Logan. Maybe now he'll move on. Alright, Logan.
Who are you? Stay clear of my work. Curses upon you. How dare you disturb me?
Yep. He became so absorbed in his research, he's gone crazy. Yep, just like Seath did in his research.
Who are you? Stay cursed.
Alright. At this point, I think he moves on to his final spot. Yep. Yep, he's no longer here. So before we go find him, we're actually going to change out one of our sorceries. We don't really need any of this, so we'll just slap on force. Go. Get my talisman. There we go. Don't need that. Don't really need that anymore. In fact, put on that just in case. Alright. So let's go find Logan. Really? Yeah, it's not until the later Dark Souls games that you can actually roll through tables. Yeah. Even though these guys are crystallized, they're actually not really resistant to magic. So maybe we can take them out pretty well, especially with this weapon. Ow. Ow. That arrow guy back there is a real nuisance. Call the elevator, just wait. Shield. Alright. Yep. All the way up to where we first found Seath the Sacleless. Yep, past the hallway, up to where we first found him. Because now Seath has moved on, and Big Cat Logan and his madness has discarded everything. So. We got some dodges. Get away from the chest. Since he has no armor, he has no poise. Yeah, but he hurts a lot. Really? That didn't knock him out of it, huh? But anyway. Goodbye, Logan. Do not underestimate him. Even though he has no poise, he can still knock you to hell and back. Yeah, he uses crystal sorceries with the crystal banishment catalyst. Yeah, he'll hurt if you let him hit you. You'll probably die in probably one shot. I wouldn't be surprised. So, thank you, Logan, for all your spells. And he drops the white dragon breath, as well as his hat, and a tin crystallization catalyst. What you get? Crystal breath. white dragon breath. 50 intelligence, the highest intelligence requirement in the game. Yep. In fact, 50 intelligence is, I think, the soft cap for most catalysts. Yeah, well, yeah, I think 50 intelligence where a catalyst kind of soft cap at. So we probably won't go any more than 44, but sorcery developed by Logan during his infatuation with Seath the Sacleless. Emit crystal breath of Seath the Sacleless. Although it no longer causes curses, what madness caused Old Big Cat to appropriate this frightful power of the ancient dragons. Indeed. Yep, in his research, in his books, he found something that drove him crazy. Yep, to true madness, I guess. Yep, we have the tin banishment catalyst, or tin crystallization catalyst. Yep. The highest magic adjusts in the game, but it comes at a cost, with half spell uses. All spell uses, not just sorceries, pyromancies, and miracles. Yep. As long as you haven't cast the spell or something, you can get the uses back. But catalyst imbued in terrifying crystal magic, used by Logan after his fixation on Seath, makes all sorceries incredibly powerful, but demands extremely high intelligence from its wielder, and halves sorcery uses. So, probably won't be using it just because I don't want to lose half my spell uses, but yeah. And we got his big hat. There it is. Yep. Gigantic hat worn by the great sorcerer Logan. It completely hid his face, which led to his nickname, Big Hat. Famously antisocial, Logan used it to block out noise and people's stares so he could focus on his own thoughts, but does not possess any special magic powers. Nope. There's a big old hat. Big old hat. Yeah. Alright. In the chest, chains curled away, safe to open. And we have the large magic ember. Yep. For ascending weapons to magic 10, I think. Yep. Large magic ember, a form of sorcery, handled only by Vinhai magic blacksmiths. Yep. Most powerful level for magic weapons. Mm-hmm. Alright. There's one more item in this room. Which way is it? I think it's this way. Yep, Seath caused all the crystals to grow. Alright, so it's the other way. Never mind. But here it is. It'll eventually get to it. Here we have Soul of a Great Hero. 20,000 souls, I believe. So. Alright. You know what? Let's go turn in these embers real quick. So I'm going to cut to the giant blacksmith first. So see you when I get there. Alright. Here you go, big guy. I got something for you.
What's that? Shiny, shiny. Give me that. I make weapons shiny.
He make weapons shiny. Here you go. Give him the crystal ember.
I had shiny, shiny. I make weapons shiny.
And he's so happy about it too. Yep. So what other weapons can we make? Here we can make. Now we can make crystal weapons. Yep. checking to see what weapons I can make. Yeah, I thought about making this Dark Moon bow, but it requires faith. It scales with faith, not intelligence, which I was hoping for, but... Yep. Again, his catalyst scales with faith, not intelligence, so... Alright. Nothing new. I think he eventually sells Demon Titanite, I think. Just buying up some, oops. Buying up some of these arrows, because I hope they scale with intelligence and not just faith, because they do magic damage, and magic damage can scale with either faith or intelligence. So I do have a magic bow in the works, so hopefully once we get to thank you. So once we give the one catalyst to, I mean the one ember to Rickard, we can make a +10 bow, magic bow, and hopefully that will do some good damage. But again, I'm hoping those moon arrows do their work. Alright, so we're back at Firelink Shrine. So, we have Sieglinde. What's up, my lady? What you doing here?
Oh, hello again. We're both managing quite well, aren't we? But I haven't found my father yet. Have you seen him?
Well, yes, I have. He was in Blighttown last I saw.
Really? Then I must be off. I'm sorry he's caused you trouble. He has a knack for that. If you just stay put.
Alright. Anything else?
Really? I'm sorry.
Alright. So now you should move to our next spot, I think. Alright. But now let's go down to Rickard, turn in our magic ember, and then we'll close it out. Alright, Rickard. Oh no, I forgot. There's one more thing I forgot. I can't believe I forgot it. I forgot. We have to go back to the archives to get it. We have to get the rest of Logan's stuff that he discarded. So we'll give him give this ember. Go back to Vinheim. Not Vinheim. The archives. But Rickard, I got something for you.
Hey, hang on. That's a sorcery ember, isn't it? Yes, it certainly is. First I've seen since my banishment from Vinheim. What do you say, friend? Mind giving that to me? This is no man's land. I'm the only one who could handle it anyway.
Why, yes, we'll give you the large magic ember.
Yes, as you should. I won't disappoint you. I'm taskless no longer.
Taskless no longer. Yes, now we can make our next step in the magic weapons. Yeah. In fact, we'll do that because I have enough chunks. So I want to see if this bow does any good. I hope it does. Not that big, so I'm gonna hold on to the slab. We could probably use it on our side sword. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Goodbye then. Keep your head on out there. You really help break the monotony.
Okay. Alright. One last thing before we go. Gotta go back to the archives to grab Logan's stuff. I can't believe I forgot about it. Whatever. Archives. These archives. Alright. Luckily, the rest of Logan's stuff should be where he was last. It won't spawn until you actually defeat him up in the Seath arena. The arena where you kill him. So once you kill him up there, this spawns. Inside is Sage's robe, gloves, and boots, as well as Logan's catalyst. Yep. At this point, his catalyst is probably going to be the one we use. So with our intelligence level, it's going to have a higher magic adjust scaling to it. So, all right. Let's check out the rest of his stuff. He may not have anything useful, but I just want to check it out. Not bad. I mean, not bad. Gigantic cat. Nope. Robe worn by Big Cat Logan. It is said to have been from his apprentice days at Dragon School, but it is so worn out no one knows what it originally looked like. Logan, who cared little for his appearance, no doubt ever bathed or changed out of it. Yeah. They are indistinguishable from the ordinary kind worn by travelers. Yet, so engrossed in his studies, he didn't bother changing out of his clothes. Yeah. So, guys, catalyst. Right, so 217 is our best catalyst right now. 230, yeah, that's a nice big jump. So for now on, we're probably using Logan's Catalyst. Again, we have this 280 here, but it's like half the spells, no thanks. So, Catalyst of Big Cat Logan, the great sorcerer and seeker of knowledge. Originally the same catalyst employed by the Vinheim sorcerers, only terribly strengthened over time due to Logan's use. Very powerful when used by one of the superior intelligence. Yeah, again, I think you need over 40 intelligence for this to beat out the these catalysts here. So yeah, from now on, this is going to be our go-to catalyst. All right. And let me think real quick. Yeah, and then with that, I'm going to call an episode. We finished up the Duke's Archives. Yep. Well, first thing we did was tidied up some NPC quest lines. We started off down in New Londo, talked to Ingrid, got him to come up here to Firelink Shrine. So now he's up here. The only thing he offers us is to break curses and to buy transient curses. But I already got like 70 transient curses, so there's no point in him really being up here. But I did it because we want him up here. He's easier to get to if we need him. The next thing we did is we bought some prison stones from Patches. We went up to Rhea in the undead church, bought out her miracles. I think actually before we went up to the church, we talked to Grigg, told him that Logan was in the archives. So I think that was the trigger for him to move on. But he doesn't move on until you actually go to the place he goes to. So we told Griggs where Logan was at, and we bought Rhea's stuff, quit reload, she moved on. Actually gets kidnapped, but yep, if you buy off all her stuff and she's still alive, she gets kidnapped to the Duke's Archives. Yep. So after that, we went to Sen's Fortress, where we found Griggs. Yep, Griggs became hollowed. I guess he was going after Logan, but he failed to traverse Sen's Fortress. So I think he went hollow in there. So we put him down. We got the Hush Sorcery, Slumbering Dragon Crest, and the Slumbering Dragon Crest Ring, as well as a Humanity. So Griggs is done. Yeah, Griggs is done. Yep. Then after that, I think we went into the Duke's Archives, again into the prison, where we found Rhea of Thurland. Yep. Again, after you buy up all her miracles, she gets kidnapped to the Duke's Archives in the prison. So we found her there. We put her down. Yep. She gave us 7 humanity. 7, yeah, so... Yeah. I don't like doing it, but she is, you know, a good source of humanity if you need it. And she also drops the Ivory Catalyst, not the Ivory Talisman. I'm sorry, the Ivory Talisman. Yep. Probably the best talisman in the game, excluding the Dark Moon talisman, but that requires a covenant. So it's the best catalyst the best talisman outside of a covenant. So. Yep. So we got that from her. So she's gone now. And then after that, we went to Big Hat Logan, bought out the rest of his spells. And then after that, we went into the forest. Yep. Into the Crystal Forest, yep, where we found a bunch of blue golems, took care of them. Some blue chunks, the crystal armor set that only spawns if you kill the Crystal Knight up to the first encounter with Seath. And in the forest was another gold golem. This one also carrying a maiden. But this maiden was... oh, she's gone. Well, this maiden was Ziegland of Katarina. Yep. Siegmeyer's daughter, who came to look for him, to bring him home, I guess. So, yeah. So we freed her, talked to her. She came here to Firelink Shrine. And after that, we went down into the Crystal Caves, where we did fall to our death once, to be expected. Again, gravity is the leading cause of death in Souls games. So we ran back to the Crystal Cave, took care of the golden golems. Yep, they don't respawn, I did confirm that. Then we traversed the hidden paths, got some items, some soul items. Yep, dropped it down to where there were 3 crystal lizards. We were lucky enough that 2 of them dropped us 2 blue chunks. The last one gave us green shards, but they each gave me 2 twinkling titanites, so that's really good. And then we traversed the crooked path. Yeah, the one path that goes up, right, left, and then straight ahead. Yep. All that for a blue titanite slab, the only guaranteed one in the base game. So if you need it, you have to do that little twist and turn on that hidden path. So bring your prism stones, I'll say that. So we did that, grabbed the slab, made our way back, made our way down, all the way to the bottom, took care of the man-eating clams in front of Seath's arena, went into the fight. At that point, once you enter the boss arena, Seath moves. He's no longer at the top of his archives. He flies down into the crystal caves for the proper boss fight. So for that, I recommend first time, take care of the man-eating clams so they don't join the fight. And then once he flies in to start the fight, hang out by his primordial crystal and let him break it. Once you see him start doing his attack, go to his backside. Next, he should use his breath attack, break the crystal, which stuns him for a few seconds, long enough for you to run to the tip of his middle tail, give it a couple of whacks, and break it off to get the Moonlight Greatsword. And then after that, I do not recommend hanging out on his backside. Either run far away from him so he turns around, or try to get to his front. I did the stupid thing and hanged out by his backside, which caused him to flail around on his tentacles, and sadly we died. Yeah, totally preventable. That was on me. So I ran all the way back, and then this time, since we didn't have to worry about his tail cut, we just beat him up. Only to find out that the primordial crystal, which I believed would have stay broken once you break it, respawns. I did not know that. I thought it was broken once you break it, but I guess not. So I had to go back to the crystal, get him to break it, and then we just wailed on him. Yeah, we just wailed on him. So once you broke the crystal, just wail on him, stick to his front side. The only thing you have to worry about after that is just this AoE blast and maybe a grab attack if you think he has one. And he's not too hard if you stick to his front. So, we beat him up, got his bequeathed Lord Soul Shard, yeah, humanity, I believe, and access to the Crystal Cave bonfire. That's the excellent place to farm the humanity clams for Twinkling Titanite and Purging Stones. Yeah. So me and that bonfire could get real acquainted really quickly. So, yep. And then after that, we went back to the archives, talked to Logan again. He went crazy. And then we made our way up to the top of the archives where we first found Seath, and Logan was there. Yep. Naked except for his hat and his loincloth. Yep. So he went completely mad. Yep. I guess he found whatever Seath found, and it kind of drove him over the edge. Yep. So we put him down. He drops his hat, his tin crystallization catalyst, as well as I believe another, and the white dragon breath. So now we have his hat, that catalyst, which I probably won't be using because it has magic uses. And in that room there was a chest with a large magic ember, as well as a soul of a great hero. Then after that, we went to the various blacksmiths, turned in the crystal ember to the giant blacksmith, large magic ember to Rickard, talked to Zealand here, told her where we saw her father. And then after that, we went back to the archives because I forgot about the rest of Logan's stuff. Yeah, once Logan goes up to the initial encounter with Seath, the room at the top of the archives, his rest of his stuff's going to be where he was. Yeah, his robe, his gauntlets, greaves, his original catalyst would be where he was. Yeah, in that room where he went mad. Yep. And that was it. That was it. That's all we did. Finished up the archives, finished up a bunch of NPC stuff. Made some good progress. Died sometimes, but comes with the territory. And then next episode, we'll be going down to the Demon Ruins. Yep. Demon Ruins and then to Lost Islith. Probably not in the same episode, but yeah, we'll be doing it. Yay. Yeah. So yeah, next episode, Demon Ruins. But again, that is for another episode. And I thank you all for watching. And I'll see you all. Oh, now you do that. I didn't want to do that. Well, see you next time.